New streamlined CHC. Today I'm talking to Phill Bevan, a national advisor in the vet sector. Can you provide a short overview of the newly updated CHC package and some of the key items RTOs should be aware of?
With over 4 million Australians in paid or unpaid work across the community services industry, the release of these updated course arrangements is significant news. The newly endorsed CHC Community Services Training Package update provides a suite of updated community services qualifications, skill sets and units of competency that RTOs can offer as training products to learners. The updated package includes a range of new qualifications and skill sets, some of which are relatively straightforward updates from the previous qualification versions, while others are significantly amended. A range of newly released skill sets in various community services topics provides ample scope for RTOs and industry to engage in skills development in a variety of flexible ways. An initial key factor to consider is that the updated community service package has been updated to the streamlined training package format. This includes the new unit of competency format and the matching assessment requirements document for each unit of competency. RTO personnel that have not used this streamlined format previously in another training package area or with previous updates should take careful care to ensure they understand the structure and the requirements of this new streamlined format.
What about general course and delivery requirement changes in the updated package?
Included as a companion volume to the updated package is the Community Services Training Package Implementation Guide. This additional guide provides further critical information for RTOs to consider when implementing the new package, including mandatory entry requirements for new qualifications or mandatory work placement requirements. For example, the newly updated Certificate 4 in Disability has a mandatory work placement requirement of 120 hours. Qualifications in the package also have a range of regulatory or licensing factors to consider. For example, the implementation guide notes requirements from the Commonwealth Attorney-General's Department, the Australian Securities and Investments Commission, and the Australian Children's Education and Care Quality Authority, where particular updated qualifications have specific occupational licensing or regulatory requirements from these Commonwealth bodies. Another key item RTOs must consider is transition arrangements. The updated Community Services Package includes very little equivalency between the previous unit and qualification versions. Almost all updated units of competency are considered not equivalent, with a similar status for the qualifications. This means that RTOs have a very significant task in reviewing all unit of competency learning and assessment resources to ensure that all resources in use are clearly aligned to and cover the requirements of these updated units. And for the updated qualifications, as these are not considered equivalent, RTOs will have significant work to do in reviewing training and assessment strategies, course supporting materials, and progressing an extension of scope application with their relevant regulator before they will be able to deliver these new courses.
For qualifications and units of competency, can you outline further what is meant by equivalent?
In this context, equivalence is describing the situation where the old and new course, such as a qualification, are identified to be equal in the overall content and learning outcomes. For units of competency, this may be particularly useful for credit transfer arrangements. For training products overall, this may be useful for licensing, regulatory or other arrangements. For example, where an individual holds an older qualification that is superseded by and equivalent to a newer qualification. RTOs must be careful not to confuse equivalence with vocational competency, where a trainer or assessor needs to demonstrate their vocational competency against a new training product. While the trainer may hold an equivalent qualification, they may not be considered vocationally competent for services delivery in the new qualification for a variety of reasons, including unit of competency selection or currency reasons. Similarly, RTOs should not assume that, because a unit of competency is equivalent to an older version, that the strategies, learning and assessment resources and other practices in place for the old unit of competency are still suitable for the new unit of competency.
I also understand that the new package has actually combined some qualifications into a single new course.
Yes, that's correct. The updated Community Services Package also includes a new Certificate 3 in Individual Support, replacing 3 well-known qualifications in the previous Certificate 3 in Aged Care, Certificate 3 in Home and Community Care, and Certificate 3 in Disability. The new Certificate 3 in Individual Support now supersedes all 3 of these previous qualifications, providing 3 elective specialisations for these varied industry roles. This is another good example of where RTOs have significant work to do in understanding the new qualification expectations, preparing delivery strategies and resources, and progressing extensions of scope before they will be able to offer these new qualifications.
So how should RTOs prepare for transition to the new CHC package?
There are a number of key steps that RTOs should follow. These include carefully reviewing the training package and companion implementation guide, undertaking industry engagement activities to ensure that industry requirements are captured, preparing training and assessment strategies and practices aligned to the training products that are going to be delivered to learners, clearly identifying and engaging all physical resources and equipment required, clearly identifying and covering all legislative, regulatory and licensing requirements, confirming appropriately qualified and experienced training and assessors for course delivery, purchasing and or preparing appropriate learning and assessment resources, preparing a course guide and other learner information for each course they will deliver, progressing extensions of scope applications for new courses for those that are not equivalent to superseded courses, and preparing marketing collateral and other launch materials. Of course, once the application for a scope is approved, the RTO's student management systems and other operating platforms would also need to be updated and services delivery can get underway.
So in summary, the new CHC training package provides ample scope for RTOs to support industry and individual learners' needs across a wide variety of community services roles and contexts. RTOs must carefully review the package requirements, including implementations of the new streamlined format, and ensure that appropriate equipment, personnel and quality learning and assessment resources are engaged and available for course commencement.